Some moments don't announce themselves. They don't come with music or warnings. They just slip into your life, sit down quietly, and by the time you realize they're there, everything you thought was solid is already cracking. For me, it happened on a random Tuesday afternoon in a glass office overlooking a city that suddenly felt too big and too cold. I walked in thinking I was about to change my husband's life forever. I walked out realizing mine had already been erased. I had rehearsed the moment all morning, the smile, the timing, the way I'd say it so he'd laugh first, then freeze, then pull me into a hug. I was holding a folded piece of paper behind my back, my fingers sweaty, heart pounding. 3 heartbeats. The doctor had said it twice just to make sure I understood. Triplets. I'd cried so hard I embarrassed myself. I remember thinking, this is it. This is the part people talk about when they say everything happens for a reason. I didn't need diamonds, didn't need spectacle. I just wanted to see his face when I told him we were about to become a family in a way neither of us expected. He didn't look at me when he walked in. That was the first crack. He poured himself a drink middle of the day, didn't even pretend it was a celebration. When he finally turned around, his eyes slid past me like I was furniture. And then he said it flat, calm, almost polite. I'm in love with someone else. No pause, no apology, just information. 5 words that wiped out 4 years of marriage. I dropped the paper without realizing it. It landed between us face down. He never noticed. He just kept talking, explaining how this woman understood his world, how her family had connections, how love wasn't really the point anymore. Strategy was. Positioning. Survival. That was when I understood something terrifying. I hadn't been a wife. I'd been a phase. I almost told him. I swear I did. The words were right there, burning my throat. I'm pregnant. We're having 3 babies. But I looked at his face, at the way he talked about people like assets, and I saw the future if I spoke. He would stay, not because he wanted to, but because he felt trapped. And every day after that he would resent me. Resent them. I wasn't about to raise children in a house where their existence felt like a liability. So I swallowed the truth and asked one question instead. When do you want me gone? He looked relieved. That hurt more than anything he said. I packed 1 suitcase. Nothing expensive. Nothing from his world. I left without a note, without a goodbye. The elevator ride down felt endless, like each floor was peeling another layer off who I used to be. By the time I hit the street, I made a decision that would change everything. I wasn't just leaving him, I was disappearing. 3 months later, his wedding photos were everywhere. Society magazines, business blogs, headlines about power couples and rising empires. Meanwhile, I was standing on the porch of a weathered cottage by the ocean, 7 months pregnant, holding that same suitcase. The woman who rented it to me didn't ask questions. She just looked at me, nodded once, and said, "You need quiet." She was right. I gave birth alone. 3 babies, 2 girls and a boy. Tiny, loud, perfect. Exhaustion became my entire personality for a while, but something strange happened in that fog. I got clear about who I was without him, clear about what mattered. I bought a closed-down bookstore with money I'd never told my ex-husband about. Turned it into a cafe, then a gathering place. I worked during nap times, answered emails with a baby on my chest, learned things I never thought I could do. People underestimated me constantly. A single mother, a small town, no flashy background. I let them. I built anyway. 1 project became 2. 2 became 5. The kids grew strong and curious. Our life became full, not loud, just real. Years passed. And then, one Saturday morning in the middle of a completely ordinary argument about whether dragons could eat ice cream, the door opened and the past walked in. I felt it before I saw him. That instinct that tells you something dangerous just entered the room. He looked older, thinner, stripped of the confidence he used to wear like armor. His eyes locked on mine, then moved to the children. Understanding hit him so hard he dropped his coffee. The sound of it shattering felt like a gunshot. I stood up immediately, stepping between him and my kids. My oldest grabbed her siblings without being told. "Mom," she whispered, "Who is that man?" He said my name like it hurt. I didn't let him finish. "We're leaving." I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just moved. Later, I'd find out that was the moment he realized what he'd lost. Not the marriage, the years, the children. All of it. The legal letter came the next morning. Demands, threats, money numbers that made my hands shake. He wanted his rights. I wanted my children safe. The fight was brutal. Lawyers, headlines, courtrooms that smelled like old paper and bad decisions. He moved to town, started showing up places always just watching. People stared at him like he was something the tide had dragged in. I didn't feel powerful. I felt tired. But I didn't stop. In court, he admitted things he never would have before. That he married for strategy. That he treated relationships like transactions. The judge ordered mediation. 6 months. No contact. It felt like breathing after being underwater too long. I went to therapy. The kids slept better. I met someone who showed up without calculating what it cost him. He fixed broken steps, read bedtime stories, stayed. That mattered more than anything. My ex sent a letter through the mediator. No excuses, no demands. Just accountability. I didn't forgive him, but I stopped being afraid of him. When my kids got old enough to ask real questions, I told them the truth carefully. That their biological father made bad choices. That he was trying to be better. That family is more than blood. Years later, watching them grow, I understood the real victory wasn't money or revenge or even justice. It was freedom. Freedom from being underestimated, from being treated like an option, from believing love had to be earned through sacrifice. I didn't win because he lost. I won because I chose myself when it would have been easier to beg. So here's the question I want you to sit with. Was I right to walk away without telling him about the pregnancy? Was protecting my children worth denying him those years? Or do people deserve second chances no matter the cost? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear what you think because this story isn't just mine. It's about power choice and what real love actually looks like when no one's watching.